Hey, my name is Cease, and thank you for clicking on this video. Quick disclaimer before we start, these are all just things that I've learned through my numerous hours of playtime, and it may not suit everyone else's playstyle. I don't really want to go over the absolute basics, so in making this video I am assuming that you know how to press shift in space, and in some cases strafe. And with all that out of the way, we can start to go over what I believe to be one of the most important things about krunker movement, which is momentum. So obviously the base speed is pretty slow compared to slide hopping, and this is due to the momentum that is built from your previous jumps. Now what I find important is how to build that momentum as fast as possible and keep it as comfortably as you can. I personally do this most often by strafe jumping with my knife out, because the added jump height allows me to go farther faster. This tip can be used both to start your slide hop and in the middle of a slide hop, so you can always control how far that you want to go by using either normal jumps or knife jumps. The next tip that I have for you isn't so much about how to move, but what to do when you're moving. I could probably make a video on this topic alone, but your goal should always be to put yourself in a more advantageous position than your opponent. For this video, the tip I have for you is just to fake them out. When you were sliding, you were able to turn one way and then turn the other way in the same slide, so you can change your direction while you're moving. It's a pretty simple concept, but if you're able to move your mouse fast enough and hold shift long enough, your enemy will not be able to tell which direction you actually want to be moving. The only downside to this is if you try to make too many turns at once, you will eventually lose all your speed and just be standing still. Another great thing about slide hopping is that it can be done on any surface, so if you can get your feet on it, you can jump off it. The only hard part about this is the timing, because sometimes if you get too close to the edge, you will slide off, so when this happens, just try your best to recover and continue. The next movement aspect that I would like to talk about is crouching. Believe it or not, it can actually be used for things other than slide hopping. If you ever just want to kill your momentum, the best way to do that is just to crouch and stop moving. It's that simple. I've found this to actually be rather effective, as people don't usually expect it, and it's sometimes a free kill. Crouching is also great for making your character model smaller, which makes you harder to hit and harder to see, so if you like hiding, go for it, and if you just want to play it risky, it helps too. Another big part of movement that I want to talk about is you. The decisions that you make are what decides whether you run into a wall, into another player's line of sight, or into a position that gets you kills. It's important to know a map's layout in detail so that you know where you've been, where you're going next, and where other people could be. Each and every map is different, so your total movement skill has a lot to do with the practice you've put in and the things you've learned. And with that, my final tip for you is just to practice. A lot of it really is just muscle memory, so the more you try to improve, the more you probably will. This was a pretty brief video, so I hope it was easy to understand, and if you have any specific questions about movement, I will be happy to answer them in the comments down below. Movement really isn't my specialty, but I still know there's a bunch more I could have included. If you're not subscribed, don't be afraid to hit the button. If you liked the video, feel free to drop one, and without further ado, I've been Cease, and I'll see you later.